Hi, John Cowan here. Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, that's our message today. It's not necessarily a real estate message, but we'll get into a little real estate. But folks, really, I wanted to just simply take a moment and reflect a bit. This has been a very trying year for a lot of people, and we are still dealing with it. And we may still carry some of these issues over into next year. But I do believe that we still have a lot of blessings and a lot of things to be thankful for. I know a lot of people have suffered, but we've got to find the benefits of what we have gained from this year and carry that forward. So I want to state an obvious, and that is we all need to have a plan going forward. Okay? If it's personal, if it's medical, if it's real estate, we need to have a plan going into next year. In the real estate market, we're going to see a different year than we saw this year. That's guaranteed. And I want to touch base today just briefly, kind of scatter shooting, and just tell you my opinion on where we are now, where I think we might need to think about going for next year, no matter what your needs are in the real estate industry. But I think I want to state another obvious, and that is you want to have help. You want to have a professional realtor with you no matter what you're doing, if you're buying, selling, leasing, investing. Take the benefit that that can offer for all their personal and professional experience in the real estate world, and use that. You need it. It will benefit you. It could make the difference of whether you get a home or not, whether you sell your home for the price that you need or not. There's a lot of opportunity there. Take advantage of that. Reach out. Get the help. The internet can't do everything for you. Okay? So let me throw some things at you real quick. In our MLS system in North Texas, I like to watch this on a weekly basis. It's a barometer. It tells us really what's going on, and I want to share some of that with you today. So in the past week, in our MLS system, we have listed over 1,700 homes. Now, our MLS system here in North Texas is very large. Amarillo to East Texas to the Oklahoma border down to Waco. That's a large area. And so 1,700 homes sounds like a lot. It's not. And that's our problem. So now to put it in perspective, if there are 1,700 homes that have listed just this past week, how many have gone under contract? Approximately 2,200. How did that happen? Because we're carrying some houses obviously still on the market. We're selling more than we're listing. Okay, that's bottom line, supply and demand. If you have followed me for any period of time, you know that's my mantra. That's what it's all about. If we are not coming up with more homes than we have a need, then we're going to continue with this real estate market as we've had for several years. I want to point something else out though too. I think it's interesting, and this is a point that I like to make with my sellers and my buyers. What if a house comes on the market and it's not really in prime condition? It's not ready for the market. Will buyers still want to purchase that home? Possibly. Will they have to recognize some issues and be financially prepared to deal with those, a fixer-upper or whatever you might want to call it? Is a seller putting the house on the market too soon and not taking care of some items that will make a big difference for them and the number of buyers who will even come and take a look at it? Really? Even in this short inventory, some buyers might not want to purchase a home that's on the market? Yes. So let me share this number with you. We have had, in the past week, 300 cancellations, homes that were on the market that have been canceled and taken off the market for some reason. We've had over 100 houses that expired, meaning typically if it was a 6-month period of time that it's been on the market, for sale, it didn't sell during that period of time. there have been another 250 plus homes that were taken off the market for some particular reason, and possibly just a temporary removal so they could do some repairs. So what it's telling us by watching some of these numbers is there's different opportunities out there. There are fixer-uppers. There are homes that are lower priced for the market for reasons. You need help to understand, is that a deal, or is that a money pit, or could it be an absolute catastrophe? That's where you need some help. So selecting the right realtor, I really feel, is critical. And yes, I'm a little opinionated in that, but there's a lot of reasons for it. In my history of real estate for over 40 years, I can share some stories. So if you're a buyer, let's address a couple of major points. The mortgage interest rate in this country is the lowest it has ever been. Housing prices are up. When we finish the year, we're going to see about a 7% increase in housing prices in our market. Yet despite that, because the interest rates have dropped this year, you can purchase a home today for less than what it would have cost you last year, even with that price increase. Folks, that's phenomenal. Your buying power is such that we've never seen the opportunity like this for you to purchase as much home because of these low mortgage rates. Is that going to remain? Yes, to a certain degree. I don't expect to see a major change in the interest rates, but the housing prices are going to continue to possibly go up some because of the demand. So you want to look at that, and we will hit a point, possibly this year in 2021, where I won't be able to say you can purchase a home cheaper today than you could last year because of the interest rate. If the interest rate ticks up and the prices tick up, we're going to hit that line to where now it's costing you money to wait, okay? As a seller, and I'll say as a landlord, because I'm a landlord, you need to make sure that if you want to participate in the market and get the most that you can, you need to present your house in that manner accordingly. You need to do some things to make sure that you can get the best price, you can present the best value to the most buyers or tenant applicants. And yes, that's even the case for tenants and buyers. They're educated today, folks, and they should be. They can recognize a home that is well maintained, one that is not going to possibly create problems for them. As a tenant, do you really care about that? Yes, you do. Okay, no, you don't have to fix those items, but do you want people constantly coming in and out? Do you want landlords who maybe don't do business the way they should, not doing repairs that are needed, and you've got a leak, and you have a high water bill, you've got an air conditioner that won't work properly? You need to look at houses in the condition that they're being presented in as buyers and tenants. So sellers and landlords need to think the same way, and it's the right way. Present value, and everyone can work out accordingly in their best favor. I want to say something else just real briefly too. Foreclosures. Some people feel like we're going to hit a mass of foreclosures next year. Personally, I don't see that. And you can call me and I'll share my opinions in more detail. And I have stated that on some of my recent videos. What I will tell you though, that's very critical for tenants. December 31st at the moment is the date where the freeze on you're having a problem with evictions is going to end. Theoretically, in January, a landlord can start the eviction process and have you evicted if you are not paying your rent on time, okay? Could we see an extension to that? Possibly. I wouldn't count on it because we've had months of that and it has hurt dramatically the landlords, the property owners, and some of them haven't been able to make their payments because they couldn't collect rent. So I think you need to be very aware if you're a tenant. You need to communicate Communicate with your landlord. If you are having difficulties, talk to them. It is easier for them to find a way, maybe, to work with you than be forced to put the house back on the market and go through another whole process of how long it's going to take to lease, what am I going to have to do to fix and prepare it, and and a new tenant. Take your relationship and work that with your landlord and see if that can't be worked out between both of you. That's what I suggest. And to my investor clients, it's what I've personally, obviously have done with my tenants. This has been a tough year, and we all have suffered in some way. And I think it's best that we find a way to work together, to make things work better. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I want you to have a plan, though, going into 2021. I want you to know that it's going to be different. If you're a buyer, I want you to know how to be prepared. If you're a seller, if you're an investor, I'll talk to you about that too. And there are things that you can be doing now. You can be doing some preparation before the end of the year. You need to do some things if you're going to buy. Think about your tax return that you're going to be filing. You pretty well know what you've made this year, and there are some things that you might want to consider doing with your 2020 tax return before you purchase a home. That return is going to need to be looked at more than likely. And you might want to talk about how you show some things on your tax return if you're self-employed, for example. So a lot of different issues that you can be preparing for right now. As a seller, we've had some great weather. Okay, and you can get out there and still do some things to your home and put yourself in a better position going into the first part of the year. And if we see an opportunity and it works for you and you want to put your house on the market in January, February, March, and not wait till April or May, you'll have your home ready and you can get a jump on, I think, more inventory that's going to hit the market next year. So again, have a plan. If you want to be involved in the real estate market, pick up the phone and call me. I've had the same phone number for over 20 years, 214-697-1146. Also, go to my website, jcowanproperties.com. My first initial, JCOWAN, properties.com. Scroll down to the bottom, look at the different information, look at my social media links, go to YouTube. Look at the videos that I've done this year. See if some of them can be helpful for you. And subscribe, follow me, because I'm going to try to keep updated information as we go through this. It's important, I think, for all of us to know what's going on. So thank you again. Have a safe and blessed Thanksgiving with your family. Let's be prepared the right way to finish this year and move on to a better year next year. Thank you, and have a great day.